The most time-honored strategy that good players keep going back and back to, regardless of meta, is having flexible point allocation late in the game, and I have one of the best lists at doing that. And that list is Move Bounce. A lot of you will be very familiar with this list. Used to be the boogeyman of high infinite players going way back when we had one drop Human Torch, which was absolutely ridiculous looking back at it after the fact. But now, following the release of a couple new cards like Lin Lie, like Sparky, and the changes to Torch, the changes to Vulture, the list looks a little different than you might remember it. Not only did we cut Human Torch, which is crazy to even think about, we also have to cut Stage and instead jam in a card that plays defense a little bit like Cosmo to help drag other decks down since our point ceiling has been so reduced. Given this is the nature of the list, you have to be very good with your point allocation. That is the strength here. You don't have the most points in the game. You're not the tallest combo deck in the game anymore. You do have enough points to edge out wins against mid-range decks. And like I keep saying, you get the power to choose where they lie all the way on turn 6. You get to lie about your power every turn of the game. And that is the real hidden strength of this list. First card in the deck is Araña. She is a particularly powerful piece given the fact that you get to set her down early on turn 1 or whatever, and you get to use her later. Particularly these types of movers, the Arañas, the Sparkies, the Webs, are most effective when you get to play a card down later, get the move, and then you copy the increased power that card received from the move when you play Frigga down and you get a second copy of that card. So that's what she's doing here. It's pretty self-explanatory. The +1 point used to matter a lot on the Human Torch, but now, given the fact that we've cut him, that's a little less important part of her kit. The main thing is she's 1 cost, she's real cheap and easy to weave in. You could use her later. She moves to the right, one of the only cards in this list that does move to the right on a whim. So for all those reasons, she's pretty core here, and one notable thing about her is that even though she is 1 cost, you do have to play her in lanes where you do not expect you will be bouncing. Say you have an opening hand where you have Iron Fist and you have Araña, you probably want to play your Araña down on the right lane because you're going to Iron Fist something left, move it back right. I said that backwards. You're going to want to Araña on the left lane because you're going to Iron Fist left, Araña back right, and either bounce in the middle or the right location. Conversely, if you only have an Araña in hand, one notable thing with her being activate is you want to try to keep her out of the lanes that you will be bouncing cards back to your hand from. A lot of the times when you see Araña, you want to be playing her down on the left side of the board. If you just move with her or if you move with Iron Fist and then her, either which way you're ending up moving back to the right, which means your cards will end up in the middle or the right lane where you would like to bounce them from. Ghost Spider is just an absolutely goated card. One good thing about this list, given all the changes, is it has received a couple more points onto the cards like Ghost Spider, like your Iron Fist, that do add up and do help you edge out these victories. Not only is her body just pretty good at a 1-3, you also get to move cards back to a web lane. You get to move cards over right into a beast. Stuff like that is just really powerful. Getting her down to 0 cost, very good. One notable thing to not do with her is play down a Lin Lie and then Ghost Spider over the Lin Lie. Very situationally you'll do this, but especially I'm talking early turns of the game, stay clear of that play line. That's not good. You get 3 cards tied up in one lane and you restrict your future moves. So don't be scared to hold a card like Ghost Spider in your hand or a card like Iron Fist. You also want to be holding this guy, playing him when you're ready to start stacking some moves, especially if you have a Frigga to copy that move card. He is arguably just as good as the Ghost Spider. A lot of strong things you can do with Iron Fist include filling up the rightmost location on the board. You play down an Iron Fist, and then you play a Lin Lie middle, and you guarantee that the sword will be generated left, and the Lin Lie will move to follow it. So be wary for final turn things like that, where you can do it with this card, you can do it with Araña too, although I didn't mention it there. He's just overall goated, 1 cost. You want to play him, you want to get multiple of him by bouncing him back to your hand, and you want to get spread the left. Get a couple moves on your Vulture, couple on your Dagger, save 1 for the Lin Lie. Vulture is our choice of a stat stick over top of bigger cards like Human Torch or like Spider-Punk. That is mostly due to his cheap cost. Him being a 1-drop is very important in this list. You're able to turn 3, play down a Iron Fist, a Vulture, a Ghost Spider. You're able to stack a bunch of moves onto him really quick, bounce it all, get it back to hand, repeat it, Frigga it. When you Frigga it back to your hand, he only costs 1, so he's very easy to play out again on the final turn of the game, alongside stuff like a Lin Lie and a Cosmo. Often, the ceiling for this card is roughly about 20 points, but like I said, 20 points that you can duplicate, that you can move, that you could lie about. It's very strong. Killmonger, a lot less of a card than it used to be when this list had Human Torch in at 1 cost, so you are a little more safe to invest your points here. Also, same with Shadow King, a lot less common of a card now that Vicky hand decks are even cutting it, so this guy is typically pretty safe to sit out there as opposed to times in the past. Madam Web is the card that really made this deck work and made this deck run upon her release. She's a core card in every move list you play, absolute staple. You want to just be like a lot of games where you're waiting. You play an Araña, you play down a web, you play down a Cosmo on top of the web, and it looks like you haven't done much, but you've set up a move, you've set up a movable Cosmo, and then you're able to, say, play down a card onto the web lane, and then the following turn, you move that card and play down a Frigga, so you get a bonus move from the web before you copy. If you have something like a Sparky down, you move it back onto the web. A lot of your best games, you're just taking a card, moving it off web, moving it back to web. Off web, back to web. Whether that be Ghost Spider, Sparky, you bounce cards and bring them back. It don't matter. You're always wanting to move something with her almost every turn of the game you can. Dagger is not quite the scaling threat she used to be when she was a 2-3, but very late in the game, Dagger is extremely powerful. Early, I like to try setting up the Vulture, like say I have both. I like to try stacking moves on the Vulture, scaling him up, and holding Dagger for later in the game where the opponent plays cards out, they have the board filled, and off 1 move you can get her to a 210, off 2 you can go up to 218. Very strong, very good way to eke out wins. She has the clutch gene that Sage used to have, where the more invested your opponent is in these locations, the higher she scales, which is very good in being able to swing tight locations. Sparky is purely just a force multiplier. He's here to take a card, move it back onto the web. He's here to give a card a couple extra points and extra scaling from a move before you Frigga it. And similar to Araña, he's an activate. You just get to throw him out early, all willy-nilly. It looks like you're doing nothing, but you're setting up for later, and he's just a really good card at doing that. He used to be super good at multiplying your Human Torch and making him feel super huge, and you definitely can still Torch in this deck, but at least what I found a lot of the times is Torch being a 3-cost card is kind of restrictive when it comes to trying to bounce him back or to Frigga him. Do any of that, it makes it really hard, and if you're not getting a bunch of moves onto him, his ceiling is kind of low. It takes, I don't remember the number, but 3 or 4 moves for your Torch to outscale even a Spider-Punk when you do not get bonus buffs onto it like a Sparky. So those reasons are why we cut Torch from this list, but his compatriot Sparky, he still stays. He's a great move card. Toxin, he's in here to bounce back your Lin Lie to hand. He's in here to bounce back your Ghost Spider, Iron Fist, Vulture, Dagger, that little package back to hand. One playline I would like to highlight is there are some games where you are able to play Lin Lie, you're able to play Frigga on top of the Lin Lie lane, then you're able to bounce them back to hand, play out a Lin Lie, Frigga, Lin Lie again. So you could have some games where you just get 3 Lin Lies, you get swords in every location. This guy's a core part of that. Same with his partner, Beast. Lin Lie's just goated. He's in here as what? I think at 213, that only takes 1 move and you can duplicate. Pretty good. we're going to run Lin Lie. We're going to sometimes duplicate him back to hand and then play out another one and make a lane go from in the teens of powers to in the 20s, pushing 30. He's a really strong card. There are some locations like the Camartage, stuff like that you can abuse with Lin Lie. Even just being able to play down the sword and access locations like Sanctum Sanctorum late in the game without needing to put one of your big power move guys there is very impactful. The only thing I want to mention with him is, like I said earlier with the Ghost Spider, be wary of playing down Iron Fist Lin Lie on turn 5. You very well can fill up your lanes and clog yourself and not be able to get him back to hand, so a lot of the times I play him out more conservatively, and I play for those final turns where I say play down a move card and then a Lin Lie, and I'm able to guarantee where the sword will go, where the Lin Lie will go, how many points are there. You get to calculate it all, you're not left guessing. Cosmo is tough for me in this list because not only is he absolutely stellar on top of a Madam Web, being able to move him around, but some matchups, he just has no hits, and he conflicts your game plan a little bit. He conflicts with it. So I could easily see you, say you wanted to try running Human Torch, say you wanted to get Sage back in here. You could definitely mess around with this slot, but being able to say, I think I have a game coming up in the gameplay where there's an Onslaught Mystique. I expected an on reveal to come down like a Prodigy or whatnot, and I was able to just drop this guy middle, won me the game on the spot, the opponent left. Stuff like that is super powerful. Even like Star-Lord, that's a very prevalent matchup. You would very much like to have a Cosmo on your side there to prevent the Arnim Zola or prevent the Grandmaster, stop them from duplicating it. Even against ramp lists, you very often take early priority, and you could try guessing where their Luna Snow Electro Wave will be, and then they don't have 4 drops in their list and they're left limping, and you're much more capable of being able to squeak out wins over the top. Similar to like how a Suji deck would think. You want to be dragging your opponents down to your level. I personally think he's a little bit better than Sage just because there's some decks like Sage is like Dagger. You want your opponents to be filling out the board, playing a bunch of cards. Sometimes like that ramp list or like that Star-Lord list, they're floating every turn of the game. You have no targets to hit, you're bouncing. Even when you combo and you get a copy of your Sage or you're bouncing your Sage, it's not always guaranteed to be big enough to win you the lane, especially against something like a Foom versus a Cosmo where the size doesn't matter. You just need to be able to interact, be able to put them on the web, be able to lie about where your Cosmo will be, which is super strong. Frigga is such a goated card. She's really in here just to duplicate your Lin Lie, your Dagger, your Vulture. You're not duplicating anything else with her. One particular note would be you gotta think about like play order. You can't play down a move card and then a Ghost Spider and then copy that move card, so sometimes you have to choose. I'm gonna not Ghost Spider, I'm gonna copy the card, and then I'll have my Ghost Spider in hand when I play out that card on the final turn of the game. So stuff like that you have to think about. Additionally, you have to think about playing a Frigga and a Toxin on turn 5. You have to worry about, am I going to clog my draw? Do I care if I clog my draw? What's left in my deck? Stuff like that you need to consider, but mostly she's just here for you to concentrate all your moves onto one card, get it super big, get another one. Beast is doing the same stuff as Toxin, except a little stronger. Turn 3 Beast could lead to some crazy turn 4s where you're playing out Iron Fist, Ghost Spider, Vulture, etc., and you're still bouncing back with a Toxin. Stuff like that. He's like a combo enabler-ish for this list, but he also just lets you reuse your little move cards that you want to see multiple times. Alright, hopefully you guys enjoyed the guide. I still appreciate all the support that you guys give me. Any comments, any likes, any subscribers new to this video would be, again, much appreciated. If you leave a comment, I'll respond to it. I try to reply to them all, to read them all. Give me ideas for future videos. Talk about some nerdy stuff like anime or whatnot, or what your favorite list is, or, you know, did you used to play Move Bounce back when it was super prevalent? I know it was one of the decks that helped me elevate my game from being like a top 1,000, top 500 player into that upper echelon, being able to understand the intricacies of the deck and to be able to play with it, play against it. So yeah, hopefully you guys find the gameplay insightful. We went on a pretty good run with this list. As typically, I made a cope stay at the very end. Stay to watch that, see what ridiculous deck beat me. But have a good one. Thank you for watching. Game 1. We got Madripoor and we got some Lin Lie bouncing to be doing. Hopefully we see our Frigga and are able to duplicate. Oh, what the heck? Hopefully we see our Frigga asking, and you shall receive, I guess. We're gonna play what? Lin Lie. We could play it on the Lin Lie. Then we could play it on the Frigga. Then we could bounce the lane, and then we can get a third Lin Lie. And we're just gonna have a lot of Lin Lies this game. Gonna do maybe Lin Lie normally gives you like in the teens power range in each lane. So ceiling's much higher than that, especially if you concentrate the shields down in 2. But that's a little bit 50-ish. We're gonna be giving up a free IP card. Oh, we are with Sanctum. But this is fire. Next turn we get to play, next turn we get to play Toxin. We get to play another Lie and a Toxin. Oh my god. Yeah, I think with us being limited on board space, we might even drop a Madam Web down to start throwing cards from Madripoor over. Could be a thought. This is one thought. Honestly, this is probably our best thought. Can't even lie. Well, wait, we need some swords middle if we want to win. We'll need the web down over here. Next turn we could play, what's our other option? Our other option is Web Lie. I was gonna say we could also Araña the Lie over to maybe get the draw, and then our turn is bouncing the Lies back alongside a Cosmo on the Madam Web. I wasn't gonna say I like that, but that's a little risky. We can end up clogging ourselves, and I would prefer not to do that. We're gonna do this. If it shoots middle, we get buffed. If not, then we'll bounce it back. Oh, never mind. No bouncing it back for us. So we're gonna move this Lie over here, which will take priority, right? So then we'll Cosmo this lane and drop a Sparky, I suppose. Maybe not drop a Sparky because we want to move this sort of Fushi into the middle because we need to win the Sanctum. We could also just move the Araña. Perfectly fine to do that. He's not going to be able to buff the Sanctum lane unless he has a debris and the 5-cost guy. The only ordeal then is we can't get both sort of Fushi buffs to try to lock down one lane. So I don't know what I want to do. Honestly, I think we're pretty good in this lane. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to drop a Cosmo, and that's going to be my only move. 2 cards go there. We take Prio. Oh, we can also Araña over a Vulture, which is kind of cool. Just reinforce the lane a little bit. Playing down anything else does not really matter unless we move, like a sword. Like, we could always move this sword mid and switch up from contesting Madripoor, but oh my god, we have 30 points there. We just ate up so many buffs. I think we're literally just going to try contesting this right lane with a Vulture and saying, beat me. Unless they're a Shadow King deck, I'm struggling to see how we're going to lose this one here. Ozzy, our cards flip first, right? Yep. Cosmo, no debris for you. Whoa, Cat Marvel is cool. Although it does not matter. We'll take the 2 cuber. Yo. Alright, game 2, here we come. Honestly, I'm thinking back to last game. I think I took a suboptimal line, but not having access to that right location made things awkward. Are we against a Star-Lord deck? Like, I don't know. I kind of just start trying to clog their hand. Let's put them up to 6. We'll see this turn. Magic, so maybe Mr. Negative. A deck that does not benefit from move cards. So we're actually just going to spam cards into the machine world. Wow, I really would like to snap this. I feel like it's almost a little bit rude though. Also said spam cards middle. I would snap normally, but because we're recording, I normally say, like Regis says, like everybody says, you want to end up getting the full game in. Oh, he got the extra energy. Wait, that's kind of crazy. We're gonna play, shoot, I messed up a little bit with where my cards are in each lane. I think we just need to bounce a lane back, but which lane? If we do middle, then we don't get to activate our Araña. That's fine. We just don't get to activate it on this following turn where we're about to copy a Vulture, but we will get to activate it, what? On turn, I can't do numbers, on turn 7, we will get to activate it. I'm going to hold the Iron Fist in, no, I'm going to play Iron Fist down in X Mansion. We're going to do a move a Vulture over, get it to 17 power, copy it with a Frigga back to our hand. Onslaught Mystique. Are they setting up a Mr. Fantastic combo? They might be. We really got to clog their hand because this is some scary stuff. Alright, so Iron Fist, move the Vulture over, copy it down with Frigga. Honestly, play our Araña down. I don't want to give this to him in Machine World, but I do want to get the move. Honestly, it was sell to drop our Iron Fist the way we did. I think we're going to do this. This is weird, but I think we're going to play the Araña here. Give them an Araña copy. Then we're going to Cosmo down, then play our Vulture, then play our Frigga. Just because I want to try blowing up their hand with Machine World, I want to leave space in the mid lane open for me to move a Vulture to the right lane. Right, here comes the 2 cards. They go to 5 in hand. We get to fill up their hand. You're not comboing on us. Our Cosmo will let us throw it middle in case they try to do like a Mr. Fantastic Prodigy. We have priority. Overall, very strong game. Definitely assisted by this Infinite. But we're going to be able to disrupt here and then just play for points, which would be going for a activate, move the Vulture, and just dropping down an Onslaught. I think this should be good. An Iron Man might beat us if they got so blessed to have that in their hand. Single Iron Man could probably just topple us over here with how much the Onslaught stack. I think I tried recording one game. It was for a deck that was not good. And I think I went against a Tribunal gamer. Similar thing happened. And I thought it would just X4, but it's actually X8 or 16. I don't know the actual number. It's something stupid how much your power increases by. So hopefully no Iron Man, but hey, if they do have Iron Man, we'll see how big it goes. We'll see if it goes over what? We got 33 in the left. All right, sweet. We would have had 33 in the left and the right lane. Let's see, we're at 20, 16, 17. Gonna go up by 17. 37 and 33. Yo, game 3 going against Mr. Pixie Chef. I'm just trying to think if I want to drop this down now, if there's really any point to. I think I'm going to hold it. You could move the Lin Lie now and then bounce the lane to get 2 more points on your Toxin, is what I'm thinking. But if I do that, then I wouldn't be setting myself up for something like an Iron Fist Dagger before my Toxin. So I'm happy we waited. A lot of times when you play move bounce, you want to, like your little cheap guys, your 1-cost movers, you want to hold them in hand a lot of the times. You end up flipping a lot of energy. I don't fancy floating a turn here, but I think we will do it. Pixie's just fine to float a turn. But next turn we'll be able to play Araña, Iron Fist, Dagger, then we'll be able to bounce it back. Oh, interesting. He's just playing for Yggdrasil. Alright, we're going to do this. We're going to do Iron Fist, we're going to do Dagger. Next turn we're going to do Toxin. We're going to do a Madam Web. Looks like this game we're going to need to play around a Taskmaster if we could possibly get priority. I don't really think we can, unless we do not bounce. Excuse me. That would be our one case for priority, but that's not the case. No prio for us. We are going to have a bunch of cheap cards, but the ceiling of Pixie's deck is 40, and the ceiling of move bounce nowadays, especially no Human Torch in this list, we're looking in the 20s to 30s, so not overly stoked about this, but see if there's a way, if we could force a double Lin Lie together, that would actually be kind of cool. How would we make that work though? We would need to guarantee here. It would be like we play Araña, Ghost Spider, Cosmo. So this would move Dagger left, right, lock it in. This lane's full. Then we could play down an Iron Fist and a Lin Lie, which will guarantee the sword goes into the Baxter building. I wonder if there's any way we could absolutely throw the Baxter building and just try winning the others. We leave a sword here. Can we instead do something like this, where we play Iron Fist, move the Dagger over, move it over again into the Yggdrasil, then we Lin Lie right into Collapsed Mine. I like this better. Don't think we're necessarily favored to win, especially if they got Taskmaster, but we're getting some good scaling on the Dagger. I think it's going to be too little, personally. 6 goes up, what, 8 to 14? And it goes up another 6 to 20? Oh, we're going to be short by just a couple of points. If the mid lane was not Baxter building, by 1. No. And then we're going to easily win that Collapsed Mine lane. Nice 30 points. So unfortunate. GG's, though. Loki, the Wasp difference is crazy. But we would have lost tiebreakers regardless. Alright, game 4. We are going against is this an Arsham gamer? Yeah, 23 cards in deck. I thought I heard the animation go off, although I was not paying the most attention. Aunt May's really good for us. No payoffs though. We have Frigga as a payoff, but we need to get a Vulture, ideally. They don't have any cards down for our Dagger to scale. Worst case, oh, well, would you look at that? We're gonna play Vulture. I guess we could always bounce it back before we Frigga. We're gonna do that. We're gonna play Vulture. We're gonna activate, move it back middle. We're gonna play a Madam Web. Next turn, we play down an Araña and a Beast to get the Vulture back to hand. Then the following turn, we're gonna move that Vulture onto the Madam Web and copy it with a Frigga. I like that floor. I shouldn't have snapped for the content, but let's see. Just for funsies, let's count that out. Our Vulture would have went 3 plus 3 just from playing it on Aunt May, so he would go to 9. Then he'd get 11, move back, he'd go to 14. We'd move him again, we'd bounce him. He's at 17. That would have been a 21 power Vulture we were copying. All right, moving into game number 5. We have a very similar looking line to next game, albeit we don't have a Frigga yet. Ooh, Madam Web's pretty cool. I'm gonna just play her down now. And then we're gonna set up for some movement plays with this Vulture. We could do move the Vulture, Ghost Spider it back, or we do this. This is kind of very all in with the Sparky, but it would pay off if we see a Frigga. We do something like this into beasting it next turn. Gonna get what, 1, 2, 3, and then Madam Web next turn will make it 4 moves onto this Vulture, all very early, very quick. Gambit coming down, that's scary. Gets rid of their Star-Lord. Does that not instantly make us... I'm doing it again. I shouldn't have snapped. I should have waited. It's Mount Vesuvius. Literally, I just wait, and then I could lock him in here for 4, and I keep selling myself on content, on cubes. I'm giddy to snap for the first time ever in one of these recordings. But this is going to be another 20 power Vulture that we copy with Frigga. They're staying. They're setting up like a Wong. Is this a Wong deck? Wong Odin? Oh my goodness. I was not expecting that, and holy, we dodged it. Do we think they're Odin? If they're an Odin gamer, I'm so cooked. Actually, I need to figure out a way to throw priority. That's not even possible, I don't think. Oh goodness. I guess we're just gonna do this. We're gonna play the Vulture, play the Frigga, centralize all our power. We're not gonna go all in to move it again. We'll save some for the Dagger. We do not get to throw priority. I'm begging, please don't be an Odin combo deck. Legion. They could retreat. This is scary. We very easily... Oh! Let's go. We threw priority. Unadvertently, unexpectedly, whatever you want to say. We're going to lock in a guaranteed Lin Lie here if we are able to. So what that looks like, moving the Vulture right, playing the Dagger, the Iron Fist, the Lin Lie, moves him over here with his sword, then we just drop a Vulture middle for good measure. Grandmaster, we're not guaranteed. Very lucky hit for them there. I think we still do win though. Let's see, what do they hit? Stardust! Just narrowly win by 1 point in that Tinkerers, which is lucky. We'll certainly take that dub though. And especially if he has the other 50 on that pool and he hits Gambit instead, we'd have a Vulture there still. That was a good stay. We were favored. Alright, accidentally just maybe forgot to speak halfway through the last game, so it's gonna be cut out. Although it was a good one. We went against a ramp gamer and squeaked out a win by like 6 lanes. Just like I said, doing in the teens and the 20s with this list, but, excuse me, that's the thing that's strong about it. I keep saying it, but you want to, do I Sparky or do I Lie? Honestly, I Lie. But anyways, that's the strong part, is having all this point allocation alongside a Cosmo. The Cosmo didn't really even help me or do me that good. I just played around a Legion with it. But movable Cosmo, always a good thing. And then you're very flexible on all your points. They get tied. Oh my god, alright. I'm just gonna leave. That's a crazy Kang pool. Bar Sinister Kang, and it's Hob. Alright, let's see if this one can be a little better. Vulture down. Normally, like I said, I like to hold it, but I'm going to play a Madam Web down. I'm going to be able to move the Vulture. And then you kind of have 2 lines here. You could either Ghost Spider the web over. Yeah, see, it's so tempting. What's the other play? Oh, I could do this. I could Frigga my Madam Web. Wait, this is kind of spicy. Hang on. I'm cooking something. So yeah, now we're going to be up a Hulk in the Gamma Lab lane. And then we get to play down a Frigga and a Dagger, and we just get to go do... Oh, we still get to scale like that with the Limbo. Although I want to bounce back that Frigga. How do I play that? Not even that Frigga. That I do want to bounce back that Frigga, so I could hit it with the Lin Lie. I guess I could play... What? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... We cannot pick up 3 cards without bricking a draw. What's left in deck? Frigga, Cosmo, Toxin. Do we need anything out of our deck? Also not necessarily. I think rather what we do is we play down Sparky Dagger, and then we set up a Lin Lie Beast onto this lane, is what I'm liking. Nice, because they have putting Wong down. We really want to see our good boy Cosmo. I'm not going to move the Dagger. They just do not have enough cards for me to profit off of it. So I'm going to leave it for now. Let them play more cards. Get everything back to hand. Beautiful. That is so scary. Let me see the Cosmo. Oh, no, 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 no. I need the Cosmo. Alright. Let's see. Now we'll get to do this, where we move the Dagger over, Sparky or back. Opponent snapped. If I stay, it would be on a 1 in 3. That I get my Cosmo and I keep priority. It's so cope, but I'll make that play. Alright, you're a little annoying, but it's all good. We'll play down our Toxin here. Are we going to bounce back the most cards we can? No, not necessarily. We could also play a Ghost Spider down. Do we want to bounce back 3 cards? How many are we playing? We're playing 1, 2. Let's see. We bounce back 3 here. We're adding 1 to hand. That would clog our draw. So we actually want to leave our draw open if possible. So we're gonna make this play, and we'll maybe even just play it on. We'll just this play is quite good. Plays a little bit around like a gambit is something I might expect here. We get to get the Lin Lie back to hand off the board. Oh, I should have played down 1 more card. Oh no, don't do it to me. Oh, is it just an Odin? Wait, this is actually really good to throw prio. We don't care about winning. We don't care about winning Limbo. Not in the slightest bit, I can't even lie. What do we actually want to do? We actually would like to stack as many points as we can here, which is really, we can't do much better than 16. We could do 20, which by all means, 20 is not bad. I really don't hate it. I don't know what they're playing. They could play like an Abs Man plus another 3-drop, but they have to have more than 20 power in this lane. What's Odin worth? Odin is worth, let's see, he got 4 Surfer procs. Odin's going to go off 4 times, so he's going to get what? 16 more? He's going to get 32 power, I guess, even just off an Odin. Which, what are we at? Sword gives plus 8, so a plus 16. So that they're both 19 power. I think we end up losing, but it's the last game. I haven't cope stayed yet today. We're going to cope stay and watch whatever they do. Maybe I get lucky. I don't think I get lucky. I think they're going to go up to 40 in this lane. It's going to take a really long time. Fingers crossed for a fast forward, maybe. They're going to go so tall. You don't need to... I guess that's not super BM. Snap was a little bit BM. That's fine. Alright, we're playing Lee. They're both 219s, but it goes down. We're going to go up to 30. I think we go up to 30 in the mid lane. So we're going to be short by 20 points. I don't think I had a better option there. Literally just... We would have had to somehow keep priority, which I don't think would have happened unless we played out a Lin Lie middle and left it there. And we would have had to top deck Cosmo. Like I said, it's a cope stay. We should have just left. But it was cool. Look, these guys are big. Just not quite big enough. GG's, Mr. Green.